small village called Kryzhanka, hidden deep between frozen mountains and endless pine forests. 30 houses, a few children, and people who survived only with coal stoves and prayers. Ivan, a calm shepherd with a white beard and eyes colder than the snow itself. Maria, his wife, always said, "There's no sound here, no light, only snow and God." And their son, Anatoly, only 18, dreaming of escaping that white hell. But no one knew this would be the last winter this family would ever sleep together. In the winter of 2011, people noticed hunters were vanishing because the wolves had stopped being afraid. Packs, hundreds of them, more than 400 wolves, were moving south toward human villages. First, they hunted cattle, then dogs, and then they came for people. What tore everyone apart was Maria's scream. The wooden door shattered with a single, heavy blow. Snow rushed in with a gust of wind, and behind it, pairs of glowing yellow eyes. Ivan shouted, "Get down! Get down!" But it was too late. The first wolf leapt, its fangs sinking deep into Ivan's arm. The sound of bones cracking in that frozen silence echoed like a gunshot. Maria screamed. She grabbed her son's hand, but the frozen floor made them slip. Anatoly ran for the axe, his breath freezing midair. He turned and saw blood spraying from his father's neck, painting the icy walls red. The second wolf crashed through the window. Its claws scraped against the wood, making a sound that cut through the skull. Maria screamed and swung the burning log from the stove. Flames hit the beast's face. The smell of burning flesh filled the room. The wolf howled and backed off, but more were climbing the walls. 1, 2, 5, maybe more. Maria gasped for breath, eyes on her son. "Run, Anatoly, go!" But he cried out, "Not without you!" Then one wolf leapt from behind her, a dark shadow with steaming breath and teeth like blades of ice. Maria only had time to whisper, "God." And then, silence. The snow swallowed the blood. Only the sound of wolves running across the rooftops remained. At dawn, the village awoke, but no one came outside. Doors hung open, stoves were cold, and footprints, larger than any wolf they'd ever seen, circled the home. Of 30 souls, only 18 remained. The survivors gathered inside the school. They blocked the doors with desks and chairs. A soldier named Sergei whispered, "We're almost out of bullets. If they come, we won't last till morning." The temperature dropped to -65. The stove went out. The children cried. And then that sound came again. A long, trembling owl that seemed to come from 1,000 throats at once. Shadows moved outside. The wolves were back, climbing the walls. A window shattered. "Get to the barn. Now." But it was too late. Screams and gunfire filled the dark. Maria, bleeding, saw one of the wolves leap toward her son. Her hand shook as she grabbed a knife. She stabbed the beast. It turned, growled, and dragged her outside. Anatoly ran after her and froze at what he saw. Dozens of wolves circling his mother. Pieces of cloth and flesh between their teeth. "Mom!" But only the snow answered, with the sound of howling. Sergei loaded his last bullet, looked through the shattered window. Nothing but snow and blood. He whispered, "Just one left. Just one." A giant wolf stepped out of the mist, eyes glowing red, like fire. It walked slowly, knowing there was no one left alive. Sergei held his breath and fired. The shot echoed and was swallowed by the frozen air. 3 days later, rescue teams arrived. Nothing remained but piles of snow and blood. Only 5 survivors. One of them was Anatoly. He said, "When I came back, there were no wolves. Only footprints leading toward the mountains, as if they knew they'd done something they shouldn't have." In a notebook found beside Maria's body, the last line read, "We thought the wolves ran from the cold, but this time, the cold brought them." They say even now, on nights when the snow turns red, you can still hear a howl from the distance. And if you listen closely, you'll hear a woman's voice calling her son, "Anatoly, come back."
My friends, if you liked this story, subscribe now so we can get scared together every week.